Okay, I just want to tell you folks about an experience I've had in the last week or so. When's the last time you had a toothache? Really good, grinding toothache. Well, about, week and a half ago I had one kind of getting sweet, touchy. And I took the aspirin and it would go away. And actually the thing has been kind of acting up a little since way last summer, but it had died back and it was fine during the winter. But now it was coming on. And I took aspirin and knocked it out pretty good. In 4 hours, took a couple aspirin, I figured, well, it'll calm down. Well, sometimes it did calm down, sometimes it didn't. I'd have a day when that thing would be real touchy and then go for a day or so and it wasn't too bad. But along about Friday of last week, it lit up pretty good. So I started taking aspirin heavy, sometimes 3 every 4 hours, and knocked it down. In fact, it got to Sunday and it wasn't hurting much. I thought, hey, I'll be all right. Well, hello, all right. I woke up Monday morning about 3 a.m. I mean, there was a leprechaun in my mouth with a 40-pound jackhammer, and he was getting it on. There wasn't no amount of aspirin that would knock it down. I was drugging fast as I could go. In fact, at that point I had drugged so hard that I have a rather limited hearing in my right ear, and my left ear is pretty well up to snuff. But I had done something to my good ear with the level of narcotics I was taking, aspirin. And I was about deaf. So I got up Monday morning and I called my dentist, who I never go see. My mouth's like the black hole of Calcutta. I mean, they don't get their hands in there unless I'm in abject misery. Well, I was in abject misery. Took me in, worked me in about 11 o'clock. Sat in that chair for 3 hours. I know he shot me at least 9 or 10 times with the Novocaine. That thing did not want to die. And after a lot of, our wife and kids, finally got that puppy out. So I'm thankful, Side of my face is hanging down on my chin, down on my chest. And I go home with some hydrocodone, and that was it. It felt pretty good. About 6, 7 in the evening, of course the Novocaine's wearing off and everything come back to life. What is going on? So I took some hydrocodone, knocked it down, nice you please. Let me think, that was on, I think it was on, well, I'm getting my time frame crazy, but there was a weekend. No, there wasn't either. He pulled it out on Monday, and by Thursday I knew that there was something dramatically wrong, because it was hurting every bit as much as it had before he pulled it. So I went back in again. And if none of you have ever heard of dry socket, you don't want one. I had one. That leprechaun was back in there banging away on my jaw again. And he took and packed some green stuff down in there and gave me a fresh dose of hydrocodone. And I went home happy again. And since then, which today being Tuesday, that was Thursday, I have progressively done all right till today. Got a little bitterness in my mouth, but I'm feeling pretty good. But dry sockets are no fun. Well, let's hear it for hydrocodone, because this stuff is great. I can see why old Rush Limbaugh was going around to multiple doctors to get lots of prescriptions so he could stay high on that stuff. But I'm going to have to quit now. That's my story of my tooth. And it was was no fun. So if you ever say dry socket, just be an unhappy camper.